T-shirt kids. Rocking the T-shirt. I got the T-shirt this time. Merch is available on our bio. Don't be a hero T-shirts.
What? You have started an energy that is impossible to keep going. That is... Whoop.
I thought I'd come in first before you start singing.
No, I was just going to say how good that intro video was. If you're watching on YouTube, Matt has just made an absolute blinder of an intro video.
Yeah, see, we're doing YouTube episodes now. You can freaking watch it now.
You can see our faces. Oh. You can see when I give you the old finger flip. Oh. Hey. And it only feels right now we're going on YouTube that we should return to our beer drinking ways, Matt.
100%. We haven't done that in ages.
I know. Have you bought yourself a little beer for the podcast there, Matt?
Oh, let me just go off the camera there and just grab a little canny there. Oh, I've got myself a little Bavaria beer from Holland, premium beer, lager, pills. Got the thrill for the pills. I have.
And he's clearly drunk about 5 already, ladies and gents.
Your boy already had a trip, so I've had a trip and now I'm having beer. So how this is going to work out, we'll find out in a minute.
Oh my God, here we go. You've had a trip, did you say?
Yeah. We spoke about it last week. So, I mean, you got amnesia.
No.
About it last week.
I know. I'm aware of that. Yeah, okay, fine. I was going to make a whole gag about, you've fallen over, you're all right, but I don't need to because you've instantly gone
funny.
on. It was the other trip. Of course it was the trip from last week's episode. Yeah, okay. So you've had your trip, now you're getting pissed. I'm having this little brew dog here, for the first time, Lucky Break.
Lucky break.
Lucky break.
Looking for that one, aren't you? That lucky break.
That lucky break. We all are, my friend.
We all are.
New England IPA. I love a New England IPA. Do you want to see what I'm drinking it in, Matt?
Yeah. I want to see what you're drinking out of.
Just something really, really subtle. Oh,
that's nice.
Look at this. So this is come from my sister and sister-in-law and brother. Oh my God,
that's
sister-in-law and her partner.
But
yes,
at
I know.
the same time. Do you know what I mean? It's got girth, but it's lengthy. It's
lightweight, girthy, and a little bit flirty, if I don't say so myself.
It's enticing.
It is enticing. I'm going to have a little
wrap
sip.
your mouth around that, Forrest. Go on. It's really good, actually. That's like a nice bit. Cheers, Medeas.
Cheers, beautiful.
Do you know what we're going to cheers, Forrest? This week, dear listener, and this is all down to you because you're the people that engage in what we do. We have reached our first 100,000 viewed reel on TikTok,
amazing.
Which is absolutely mental. We have gone from 400 followers to now over 650 followers on TikTok. Ooh. I don't know what's happened, but it's happened. So thank you very much if you're jumping from Instagram to TikTok, 'cause that's happened a lot over this last week, particularly if you're from America. Mate, it's been going off. It's been going off. We've been booking people we've got interview episodes that are coming up real soon, dear listener, and I just cannot wait to do those. Mate, here we are. I'm just excited to do this because I've been waiting to review this for about a year or so. Since we kind of uttered it when we started doing The Boys, we were like, well, then we've got to do Daredevil, right? So I cannot wait to do this. It's beautiful, it's dark, it's dingy, it's different. But before we talk any more, is there anything else we need to say before we go straight into the old intro?
I don't think so.
Slight pause.
You've slightly put me on the spot. I'm trying to think desperately of anything we wanted to chat about.
Nothing other than the fact that if you are still listening, hopefully right now you're engaging in the podcast 5 minutes in. If you have, by now, you are a dedicated dear listener. So if you haven't already, please do give us a review in the old podcasting nations out there. Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever you are. give us a 5-star rating. Give us a 5-star. Give us a little review. Why do you enjoy the content? Is it Forrest's lovely, succulent, deep voice? Put that down. Let us know. Forrest loves to hear the feedback. Don't have to talk about me. Just talk about Forrest and how sexy he is.
No. Talk about Matt, mate. Talk about how Matt is aging like a fine wine.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, you know.
I've been hitting the gym this week, Forrest.
Oh, I know. 50s is the new 30s. Look. You were gymming. What do you do in a gym, Matt? What are you doing?
Right, well, just a bit of everything, really. Just gotta get, do a bit of the cardio, get that heart rate up and pumping, and then after that, I do the chests, so I do the arms, take a couple of pictures of myself for the gram, that kind of shit, and then I finish it off with with some more cardio, really, and then that's it, really. About 45 minutes in the gym.
I don't know if this feels like a male Sonia from EastEnders.
I've just made an iconic character there.
You're just saying an absolute Jim Matt. I can't wait. What's your cardio machine of choice? Do you run or?
I treadmill. I cross train, and then sometimes I do like to use the stair lift thingy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's actually really good. Gets the whole body working. Yeah, just the whole body working is good. But yeah, no, I've just been again. We're on a little health kicks here. We're treating ourselves with a little bit here, but like we're all straight in it, aren't we? January, not kind of like a new year, new me kind of situation, but just like making healthy choices, trying to get not feel as old as I am, basically.
Yeah, we're just we're going to be jacked up by the end of 2025, me and you, man.
Yeah, this is our glow up. This is our glow up year.
Yeah, we're gonna change our name from Don't Be a Hero to We're Fucking Heroes.
It's like this. I want this year to be, when Friends went from being like they looked younger and hotter as the seasons got older.
Yeah,
that's that. This is our kind of like season 4, when everyone's like, "Hello, you've got some money now. You're taking care of those teeth."
Except we have no money. We've got good teeth. No. We've got a good set of choppers between the two of us. No, I'm not talking about our cocks. No, all right, people. Choppers are very much meant by chopping teeth. Okay, not helicopter choppers. All right, not the old wheeling dickerini. All right, behave yourselves, sisters. Control yourselves.
On that note.
Should we go from our Cox to Mr. Charlie Cox? And we're ready for this week's episode. We're covering episodes 1 to 4, series 1 of Daredevil.
Oh.
Wow, where you were.
Wow, that was great. Well, there we go. Here we are. Daredevil season 1. This is a Netflix series. It's a second watch for me. It's a first watch for Forrest. So in terms of where we were at with The Boys, it being my second watch and Forrest first, very much the same situation. First things first. I mean, it's kind of, we're doing it on its 10th anniversary. Daredevil.
Wow.
Season 1 first dropped on the 10th of April 2015, mate. That was so long ago. This is just at the events, almost just after Avengers Assemble.
That's mental.
I think it's mentioned in the first episode we'll talk about in a minute, but like yeah, that's mental. Like you can see how young everybody looks. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. But yeah, 2015.
It's incredible, and yeah, I mean, I'm just fully ready to discuss it. What are your give us your big thoughts for the first 4 episodes, Matt?
Big thoughts. So yeah, I think it sets the tone perfectly of what we are going to get ourselves into here, dear Forrest, with Daredevil season 1 to 3. It's dark, it's dingy. We get introductions of the character of Matt Murdock. We get a wonderful origin introduction between these first early episodes, but we also get to know the supporting characters, the storylines, and the introduction of our antagonist as well. So it wraps it all up really nicely within these kind of 4 episodes, but not too quickly. It does allow itself the space to sort of get those kind of nuances out there. So it sets the tone for me. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
I was shocked that we get Mr. Fisk this early on. I was not expecting Mr. Fisk at this point.
Episode 3, I think we first get him. That kind of like back shot of him. Back shot. Jesus. This is going to be one of those episodes. I see.
I love me a back shot. Sorry, Mother. I apologise. Apologise to any of my parents or family who might listen to this podcast.
But yeah, we do get to see him.
We get a lovely shot of the neck and head of Mr. William Fisk, and yeah, in the end of episode 3. So I was shocked by that. I always know, if you know that I'm going to enjoy something that I haven't seen, I can pretty much count on the fact that I am going to like that thing. I'm just gonna say I'm in love with this series already. Right?
I knew you would. I was reserving this. I knew you would. I knew you would. Sorry, Karen.
It's dark. It's gritty. We've got clear, precise, intricate stories, not far too much going on. We've got clear, clear character development being had. It's just across the board a brilliant show. It's reminding me, right, of the first series and the setup of Sons of Anarchy.
Wow. That's a throwback. That was a good show. Yeah.
Because it kind of has that, like, we're getting the rush. It's done. Obviously, the Penguin, right, had all of this kind of like gang versus gang versus gang, but we didn't get to see. Character development is good for the main characters in the Penguin, but we don't really like. When it comes to gang leaders, it gets a little bit lost. I would argue for the Penguin, right? And also there just isn't the time. They haven't got the length of the series to do it. Whereas Sons of Anarchy had to have character development. You are watching a gang, right? And you're watching rival gang, and you have to have that clear. And this for me, kind of in that aspect, reminds me of that. When I first watched Sons of Anarchy, of that kind of, right, okay, this is this side that we've got to watch. We're, Vladimir, and we're watching Fisk. We're watching, Daredevil kind of in the middle of this. It's just great. And instantly, after 2 scenes of Foggy, I understand why you were so excited for his comeback.
Oh, he's so good. He's so good. He's charming. Even Karen as well. Just the way that the relationships with the characters in the first episode are built. It's through such a big heightened thing that happens to Karen's character, but then also just the way they're starting from nothing. They're building this firm, and Foggy he just wants to be good at his job, and he is good at his job, and. I mean, and again, what's great is that the moment I watched it, all the good and the bad things that happen in the show come back to me. And I mean, bad things that happen to a character. It's there's just the bond between these 3. It's so sacred. So when it was first dropped that they were not going to come back, it was an absolute travesty, and it rightly so. Everybody was like, sorry, you can't have Daredevil without these guys. And it was true, and it is the case, and it's so good to have them back for Born Again. So, mate, for Born Again, can't wait to see what's going to happen. But with this, it was such a good introduction to them.
It was indeed. Already after 4 episodes, so dare I say, I've also watched some of episode 5 already.
Oh, you cheeky little bugger, you.
I'm getting the binge factor, Matt. I'm getting the binge factor. And we do not get that often when it comes to superhero-related stuff. I have to be honest, She-Hulk was a fucking trek. So, I am enjoying having a series that I'm like, I need to start watching the next episode now. I need more, right? So, I think that's the kind of general thoughts. But even for Foggy, I hope, and obviously we've got a long way to go. We've got 3 series to watch before we even get to Born Again. I hope Foggy, I hope there's more there. Because it's all good to have him as a character, and we're only 4 episodes in. But even already, I'm like, come on, I want to see Foggy a bit more. I want Foggy to be a bit more integrated into the overall stories. So, but I'm expecting it. I'm expecting some point something to go down, which I'm looking forward to.
It does. But it's we'll have to wait and see when we get to it. But like we say, I don't want to spoil it. I did this with the boys. I did this with the boys.
Well, who knows for us what's around the corner?
I know something you don't know.
He dies. In the next episode. There goes your fucking character development for us.
It does. Yeah. It goes without saying as well, in terms of like characters that are introduced. We do get Rosario Dawson, who is Claire Temple in the show. She's an absolute acting icon. She's also a musical theatre icon, who actually was in the original production of Rent, starring Anthony Rapp, of which we did a review of Scrap, the movie, starring Anthony Rapp and Vivian Kerr. We had an interview with Vivian Kerr a few weeks ago. Go and check out that episode. I have been waiting to do that. Which is quite nice. Couple of connections there to the old podcast to the actress. She's incredible. What do you think about her introduction into the role? Again, something that's not wholly kind of intricate to it, but what are your thoughts?
Do you know what? I really like it. I think she's great. I think Claire is a good character. Yep. I thoroughly enjoy it. Episode 4, they have a kiss and they're basically living together now. That side of it, I mean, this random guy that you've and if we really pick it apart, it's a little bit fucking weird, right? guy in Skip, carry guy from Skip into your apartment, get involved with the Russians, totally fine, end up round his house, basically start fucking. What a story! What a love story for the generations. Right, that is just, out of everybody's, stories to tell, that is the story you want to tell, right? Claire, tell us how you met. How did you meet? Tell us, Claire. Well, basically, my little friend, my little friend in my apartment. I'm still not quite sure how that other guy is attached. Is that a son? By the way, that's not Claire's son, is it?
No, I think it's just not even a relative.
Yeah, no idea.
That's in the apartment. We will find out. I'm fucking okay. I'm not doing what I did at the boys, where I just ruined everything.
No, but we don't know, right? I'm not being stupid. No, we don't know this connection yet, right?
We don't. No.
So some random boy, and I was doing a role play, and now that role play is dead, isn't it? But yeah, I was just basically, my friend in the apartment just said, "Oh, Claire, I think you need to come downstairs. There's a guy in a Skip." So I naturally, I'm inquisitive, right? So I just went downstairs, had a look inside the Skip, and I thought, "Oh Christ, you're really looking in a bad situation." So I brought him upstairs. I called him Mike, and then he let me know his real name. We shared the most passionate kiss you've ever seen, Shanice. Honest to God, it was gorgeous. Honestly, I fell in love at first sight, which is ironic because he couldn't see. So yeah. Anyway, so there you go. I summed that up with a bow.
Brilliant.
No, it's it's great character. I'm also intrigued by her story, which again I'm sure is going to unfold. I feel like that is the other thing. Is the only thing I will say about the character development of this show is that some of it is being intentionally slow, right? In all fairness, he would have asked what she did a long time ago. and she's been quite cagey from day one. I don't think he'd have got this far without them having a very in-depth conversation about what she does, right?
Yeah, but again, let it play out. I think we all just need to let that play out. What I was going to kind of back her up with is Claire's introduction, as Claire is this character, could quite easily, and I think we have seen it in many shows where characters like this are like the medic to the hero, or the sidekick, or the moral reference point to a character, or a vigilante, what can be quite two-dimensional, where we don't know what their background is, where we don't get any investment to that. But we what's great here is that she has played a role where there's immediate intrigue, where behind the character you can see that there's a slight, it, like you say, you've already said it yourself. There is an intrigue, there is an interest into she is moving fast. This is all, she is kind of really tied into it, but like already, like it. So what is that? Why is that? That's because she's performing it well, and that's because we'll get answers at some point.
Are you subtly telling me what's about to happen around the corner there, mate? I'm reading between the lines, I'm reading between the lines, and I've got a feeling that Claire might not be all she's cracked up to be. I don't know.
It's to find out,
there's
mate.
something about your face that is implying that Claire might actually be Anastasia from Russia. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Well, maybe that's something to talk about.
Maybe not the love bomb hero's friend that we all think she is. What a bitch! Already, I am outraged.
I think in terms of like a gripe for me is it's happened 10 years ago, this show, and then all of a sudden the age of the show happened when these Russian guys, or at least this like Russian brothers that are the through line for the first kind of 4 episodes, clearly, doing some dodgy stuff, working for somebody that can't be named, right? And the generalized Russian villainy is like, oh yeah, this is 2015, isn't it? This is 2015. Yeah. Like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
And it just felt not trivial, just a bit kind of like, do you know what I mean? Did it have to be Russision?
Yeah.
Did it have to be that,
What I love is, you said about like he who can't be named, right? We've had 4 episodes. They've said William Fisk more times than any other fucking character.
Like, they're spitting out episode 4 and 3.
You can't talk about him. Oh, it's William Fisk. I couldn't dare say, but it's William Fisk.
Say anything, but it's definitely Fisk. Fisk.
Fisk. Sorry, you want Fisk meat? No, Fisking. Fisk is here. Fisk. Yeah.
Speaking of which, because we're talking about characters, how are we finding the introduction of Wilson Fisk?
Good. Good. I mean, it's it's strange introduction. I mean,
unexpected.
So he's in a gallery.
Yeah.
He's taken quite a fancy to the woman who works there.
Who does that? But let's think about this, right? In terms of introducing a villain, who goes, okay, we're going to introduce Kingpin. Great. How are we going to introduce him? Well, he's going to be in an art gallery. He's going to fall in love. And he's going to do something that's very human and we can all agree with, as in terms of like asking somebody out on a date and having dinner. That's literally all we have currently got. We have not seen anything that Kingpin has been doing overtly evil or bad. There's conversations here and there, but he's still been doing it in behalf of somebody else. Somebody else is doing his dirty work for him. Who introduced a villain like this? Nobody has done this before. This is why Daredevil was so good, because of this character. I remembering watching it for the first time, never experiencing anything like this before. Vincent D'Onofrio, whatever that last name is, sorry I pronounced it wrong, but Vincent is an absolute legend of the MCU villainy game.
What I love is you've got 2 dinner parties happening at the same time, right? You've got Claire talking to Shanice about how she met Matt, and then you've got in the apartment next door, you've got William explaining how he met the woman from the gallery. It's the weirdest 2 introductions I think I've ever. Yeah, well, lads, I quite like my art. I go into the gallery down the road. Yeah, I go there quite often. Basically, there's a woman who works there, Fiona. She's gorgeous. I go in at the end of each day. It's a very quiet gallery. No one else is ever in there, right? And I just position myself next to Fiona, and we have conversations. And then you never guess what? I took her out one night, right? And then my mafia just rocked up. It was fucking insane. What are the chances? It was brilliant. It's a little bit odd, but I quite like it. I quite like how they're kind of bringing it like they're showing us that this guy is supposed to have have a genuine personality as well as being kingpin, as well as being like mafia lead, right? So he's got a heart. He really appreciates this person. And now he's not happy that it may have fucked up. So I like it. He's certainly putting a character on. And I don't know if that's going to.
What do you mean?
Well, it's quite like the voice is like very like, I'm going to purposely talk down here, and I'm purposely going to pull faces. And
who's fucking talking about a low voice?
Yeah, I know, but I'm not putting it on, Matt. I know. I'm not. We don't start a podcast. So I go, yeah, all right, Matt. I'm ready to record. Hello, welcome to the Hero podcast. This is just, I suffer from balls hanging down to my knees, Matt. I suffer for the art that I have.
Low hanging fruit.
Exactly. I have to buy trousers with wide legs. It's horrible.
I get it, but I think that's really. Well, again, historically, Kingpin, this larger than life character. How do you bring a Kingpin like this into a realistic, dark TV show? Well, it's not the fact that he is this. He's got stature. There's nothing to say that this character, Wilson Fisk, has stature, but it's in a different way. Do you know what I mean? And this is the thing. If you jump ahead, the way that they introduced Wilson Fisk in Hawkeye, is it Hawkeye? It was Hawkeye, wasn't it? And they had all these kind of like camera shots where it was like low down looking up to make him look really big. And it's like, but you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that because the larger the life character and the fear that you get from Kingpin is in the way that he is the psychology of Kingpin is played in. And I think that slow temperament, that steady, thoughtful way that it's performed is scary. The way that he courts this art gallery woman, is, you can see that he's nervous. You can see that this villain is nervous to ask this girl out on a date, but then also just the way that it's kind of like delivered, this sense of vulnerability, but it's through fear. It's through something that you kind of go, there's something scary about this guy. I don't want to piss him off. Because again, we will see this at some point, and you'll see it soon. When he does get angry, it's all kind of like justified.
Well, I think we have seen it because he put a Russian brother's head in a door and smashed it until it came off. So, arguably, Matt, I've probably seen him be a bit violent, I reckon.
You've seen the history, that's one bit.
He did decapitate a guy on the verge of romantic scene to
give it a 4 out of anger. Yeah.
How bad does it get? I do agree. I like it. I think. I don't know if I like it quite as much as you do, but he's all right. It's good. I do like it.
That's really interesting. I think he's great. I'm saying something here. I think our MCU Kingpin Wilson Fisk is up there in the echelons of villains. Not top, but like I wouldn't even say he's underrated because I think he's quite loved and quite revered. Like, I think he's better than Gore the God Butcher in terms of Christian Bale's performance. I'd count it up there. High Evolutionary, like that performance was incredible. Like on par.
Really? I don't see a naturalism with the performance though.
Are you joking?
No, when he's doing a romantic, it's very like, it's very, it feels very, it's basically that scene where he's outside that woman's house, right? And they have that whole like, you know, they're about to part and he's trying to, he's basically trying to see if she's interested at all, otherwise he's going to stay out of her life, right? Yeah, and that scene for me felt as forced as any movie that's got Hugh Grant in it. Like, he was doing the whole yeah. It's, I don't know. For me, it's too much. It's too much. Maybe but you know.
It's season 1. We're still trying to find our feet in the character. I'm sure. Do you know what I mean? But like, I don't see that at all. I think there's really considered choices in his acting there. Really considered choices, and I think the way the voice is vocalised for Kingpin, Wilson Fisk in this version, is good. Is really good.
Well, I think we only have one choice now, Matt, and it's to throw it out to our wonderful listeners. What do you think about William Fisk? Do you think yay or nay?
I'm excited to see Wilson Fisk come back in Born Again, up there with Daredevil and Punisher.
Yeah,
on an equal playing field.
I am. I don't not enjoy him. I think it's just, for me, it's not sitting in a naturalistic setting that the other characters are. Or okay. Not that he would. Anyway. By the by, we'll maybe over the next few episodes I'll think differently. But so we're talking about William Fisk. Let's talk about Matt Murdock. Let's talk about Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock.
Let's talk about Daredevil. Yeah, I know. How did you find the origin? This is what I love about doing these types of reviews, because I've seen it twice. You've seen it for the first time. So, like, what were your thoughts with the origin? How we saw Daredevil come to be from the incident to the kid to now the adult. How do you find that with Dad? All that.
Brilliant. Like, I'm thoroughly enjoying. Like, we're getting like small little flashbacks. Yes. There's no, and we're not getting. I mean, some TV series or films do it really well, but what I like about the flashbacks is we don't necessarily have a flashback just so that we can come back to the present day and see that unfold. I like that. Right, I quite like having a flashback to give us a bit more context, but we're not just getting a flashback because the next scene is going to be in. Like Penguin did that a lot, right? In the Penguin, we got a flashback, and then the follow up to the flashback was a specific reason why we saw the flashback, which is fine, but it's quite a baby way of telling a story, right? It's like, well, this is what happened to Timmy when he was 5, and that's why in the next scene Timmy's a fucking arsehole. And it's just like it's fine. It's one way to tell a story, but I quite like the fact that's quite
fucking hell, Timmy. Why are you such an arsehole, Timmy?
Yeah, Timmy, stop being a prick, mate. All right? Sort yourself out, Timmy. Enough of being a prick.
Timmy, okay? You were the best of us, and now you're a prick.
Yeah, Timmy, you were so innocent at 5 years of age, Timmy. Yeah, I saw you just glided across that beach, mate. And now, and now I'm fucking disappointed in you, Timmy. All right? I'm fucking disappointed, mate. I'm disappointed in myself for trying this Australian accent, which is not fucking working out for me. All right, Timmy? You've embarrassed me, mate.
Neighbours. Everybody needs good neighbours. That was the ending. Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
This is why we don't have beer with us anymore. If we had this every week, this would be... I mean, it's already chaos every week. This is unhinged.
Fucking hell.
Anyway, yes.
But yeah, so I quite like the reasons for like how they're doing a flashback. I love that we just got straight into the incident. We didn't see the incident unfold. It didn't turn all Final Destination with it. Like, it was great. It was just straight in. I think for us two, from an access point of view, what do we think about an actor who can see playing a blind actor? A blind character.
Yeah, so again, I don't want to make the date of when this came out like an excuse, but like around in 2015, I would say the awareness of accessibility and inclusivity wasn't so wholly on the forefront of a lot of producers and networks and enterprises' minds in terms of casting appropriately. I think if this was done now, I think it would have been done differently. Hence why I think they kind of very much backed up that in MC with Echo's casting and all that kind of stuff. However, Charlie Cox was, when he was offered the role, he read the first two scripts of the series, and he apparently implored to his agent that there were the two best television scripts he's ever read, and was desperate to play the role. He was actually, in June of 2015, Charlie Cox, and this is a bit of trivia here for you, dear listener, Charlie Cox was actually honoured at the American Foundation for Blind's 19th annual Helen Keller Achievement Awards for his performance as the blind superhero in Daredevil. So what I will say is that it is performed, I think, quite authentically, and I think that the way that they attribute and show his blindness, but then also how it links to the kind of superhero qualities. But I think the way that was introduced in those first 4 episodes was done brilliantly, and it's only going to extend as well as we go further knowing the character, even to the point I think we'll get new bits and new features in Born Again of how we navigate his blindness through being Daredevil. But I think I remember watching it the first time actually thinking he was blind, as the actor. Not to say that that's what every actor dreams for. When you're playing a role, like that, you have to make it feel like it is, the actor that is actually blind. But like I feel like it was done sensitively. It can tell that it was done delicately. And again, knowing what type of actor Charlie Cox as an actor is like busy mates with like Tom Hiddleston. He's come from all of that kind of generation of actors that would, Benedict Cumberbatch, all of those lots that very much take their craft very seriously. So if they're taking on a role like this, they know what the risks are, but they also know that if they're playing a role like that, it's got to be done delicately and done, well. So, sorry, long answer. Yes, I am enjoying it, and I think it has been done well.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's a tough conversation to get into, right? Because, again, even if you look at an example that's really, really modern, really, like, as of late, in Squid Game, the actor who played the transgender character in Squid Game was not transgender themselves. Yeah. The program's come under fire for that. The actor has come under fire for that. It's a very difficult issue. Right, it's a very difficult. There are many opinions. I don't think it's a this or that argument. Quite frankly, I think there are nuances to the argument. There are different situations of an argument. I think as actors ourselves, we have to be very careful that we're not in a society where an actor can only essentially play themselves. Otherwise, the being an actor becomes pointless, right? Really, we play ourselves anyway on the most part because you get cast as the your look or your part, or if you can do this or do that. But I think it's a very complicated issue. I think in this specific situation, I think you're right. I think Charlie Cox does an incredible job. I think the writing is done very well, so we don't get any we don't have any gags at the expense of the blindness of the character. They could have quite easily had a moment where he goes to find Claire's face and then he completely puts a hand on someone else or whatever, right? And we haven't had, I don't know if we ever do, but we certainly haven't had that in the introduction of the character, right? And for me, that's a good decision. If you are certain, even if a blind person were to play the character, you wouldn't want the cheap gags anyway, right? But certainly, if you are going to not have that, then you can't afford to put in a cheap gag at someone's expense who might be going through that, right? I think very good. I think Charlie, in a wider context, Charlie Cox is bloody brilliant as Murdoch. Like, it's instantly, like, as I say, I've never watched Daredevil. I am so into it, and most of that is because of Charlie's acting. I'm also, do you know what? I'm outraged that there hasn't been a game in the last 10 years. A game for Daredevil would be incredible, because it's like hearing. You can imagine what a game would be like, right? To play Daredevil, you can, like, you know, you can only, like, hear things, so you would see it kind of like if you played The Last of Us.
No.
Oh, okay, controversial.
Yeah, I say it hesitantly because I did for like a day and then stopped, but I don't know why I did. I think I got busy.
Oh, it's brilliant games. But in there is a hearing function in The Last of Us, right? Which basically you see the vibrations of enemies, kind
of Assassin's Creed
in the walls,
in terms of like finding the eagle vision and stuff.
Exactly that. And I think it'd be incredible, right? And just hear it, like, seeing Charlie act in the way where he's trying to really listen and trying to, like, clear all the other noises out. It's just brilliant stuff. Like, it's great, and the sensitive moments with Claire are beautiful. He has got the ability to really change up what he's doing. Is he trying to be a violent character? Brilliant, he can act it.
Yeah.
Is he trying to play the love person? Brilliant. Is he trying to play Foggy's best mate? Brilliant. It's just great.
It is great. I mean, and this other thing is that he's about to go back into this role properly. I mean, when I say back, he already has been, but like in terms of us seeing it for the first time after a long time, he's been Daredevil for 10 years. Like, that's something, you know. All these characters, Loki, over nearly 15 years playing this role. Like, he's going to have a good idea now of how to play this role. And I think, again, just kind of referencing Born Again, it looks so dark and it looks so within the tone of what this season is as well with the Netflix one. I can't wait to see more. You know what I also loved about particularly episode 1 is we have references to the MCU. Now, this show was not directly impacted or threaded through the MCU. It was very much clear about it when it first came out. However, it acknowledged it through newspaper clippings, through a reference about the Battle of New York for Avengers Assemble, when I think it was Karen's first scene with Foggy and Matt. But there's also newspaper clippings on the Incredible Hulk. The events all happened in Incredible Hulk in 2008. That's Edward Norton's one. Do you remember when we reviewed that, mate? That was our second ever episode that we did.
Oh, yeah. We absolutely loved it. Brilliant movie.
We went hard on that, didn't we? We went in
we did go hard on it. I mean, to be fair, warranted.
Yeah, to be fair. Also, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is referenced within it as well. In terms of cybertech, there's a kind of like controversy around season 1 within that, as in the controversy that happens with cybertech in season 1 in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But yeah, and Stark Tower is seen in a newspaper clipping as well. This is the thing. We all knew that it wasn't going to be tied in, but we knew that it was nodding to it. This is back when Netflix didn't have any connection to Disney. You know, it was technically a completely separate entity, but hey, this is when it was all really exciting, right? This is when it was all very much for the first time. So you can see that kind of buzziness was certainly in there. Also, another bit of trivia. Daredevil, the first episode of Daredevil season 1 was the highest pirated, and I say that because no one fucking does it anymore, the highest pirated episode akin to Game of Thrones from 2011. Second highest ever.
Wow.
Crazy.
Crazy. The best Avengers mention, well, and also the most outward mention so far. Episode 4, Wesley goes on about he talks about the iron suit or a hammer because he's describing why he can't understand why Daredevil's doing so well. Right, a guy that's literally just got a balaclava on, and compared to he's got no iron suit and or a hammer. And I thought, wow, that's a really extroverted way of bringing in the Avengers, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Good. It should be. We're in the universe, right? It's good. Little mentions.
I just wonder, mate. I wonder whether we're going to get more of it going into Born Again. I don't want to get my hopes up.
Don't get your hopes up, Matt. We know we're not.
Oh, I can't help it. But no, I'm not going to. We know that we've got the Punisher coming back. We know that there's still so much to tell in terms of the story. I wonder whether there's threads from Echo coming into it. I don't know. We'll see.
It's exciting. It's going to be exciting. But yeah, I'm not getting any hopes up for any other character, basically. But to be honest, equally doesn't need to be, really. I think people love Daredevil so much that it can be in isolation. It's just if we're going to decide to bring Daredevil into the Avengers, which I don't think is on the cards. It might be on the cards, who knows?
Well, the Dark Avengers have been kind of spoken about, haven't they? Quite a bit over the last few years. With Moon Knight potentially coming into play within that as well. There's so many ways of doing it. The other thing is that they did do the Defenders. So I don't know if you know, Forrest. So they also, when they were doing season 1 of this Netflix series, very much early on, they cast Jessica Jones, they cast Iron Fist, and they were culminating it to a Defenders Netflix series, which they did do. Not to say that we're going to review that, dear listener, because it wasn't great. But the thing is, it's that they clearly had plans with these characters. I think they need to be They need to be careful, don't they? They need to be careful going forward. And to be fair, if they're just focusing on making sure that this is a really good series, that's absolutely fine. We do know that there is a green light to season 2, Daredevil Born Again. So we do know that there is another series coming, but when that will happen and how that happens, we don't know. And who that involves, we don't know. So we'll find out.
Yeah, it's gonna be a shock when Daredevil dies in episode 2.
But have you seen the trailer? He is carrying a dead body. He's carrying a dead body. We don't know who that is. There's rumours that could be Bullseye that he's carrying, which then creates him to then go, I'm not going to be the vigilante anymore. And that's what causes him to take a break. I think.
Matt,
I think
remember
it's
that I haven't watched any other episodes of this, mate. I have no idea who Bullseye is.
That's fine. Bullseye was Colin Farrell in the 2003 film of Daredevil.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. He's another anti-hero.
All right, okay. All right. Well, yeah,
that's not like a reveal or anything at all. That will not ruin a single thing for you.
I'm just... All right, okay, fine.
Don't
now I'm expecting Bullseye. Now I'm looking forward to Bullseye. Now I'm expecting that game show where they...
That's where you were going. I was waiting for you to go there. A dart show.
Yeah, no, I'm expecting a darts board. I can't wait for that episode. Fucking
what was that?
That is a fucking reference from fucking the last century, mate. Jesus Christ.
Put that on TikTok. That would get 5 views.
Yeah. Oh my God, Shanice, have you seen the newest video? What's Bullseye? Oh my God.
Fuck's sake.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, fab. But we haven't talked about a story at all, but we're quite late in the podcast already.
We're 47 in.
Yeah, Russians. One of Williams killed one. He's decapitated one of them. But they're not happy. They think it might be Daredevil. Daredevil's got a love interest in Claire. William Fisk had a love interest in a gallery person, no longer. And Madame Gao is chilling out. There you go.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I love how we don't see a first trial until episode 3 for the defense team, but then also seeing how Matt Murdock uses his kind of heightened senses to gauge the heart rate of the jurors and stuff, and that's all really cool. But again, just the fact that what a brilliant circumstance it is for a vigilante to go, you know what, I'm going to be on the defense team to all these criminals, and I'm going to find out exactly what they're doing. If they are actually guilty and they get away with it, well, I will just then put on my old Daredevil suit and then catch them myself. Brilliant. What a way to bring them all in. Do you know what I mean? Batman has to fucking search for it. Batman has to fucking do some fucking detective shit. But you're just reeling them in by being a fucking lawyer in a defense team. Clever little boy there.
You have clever little boy there. It's brilliant. I need to listen back to you saying that. That was brilliant. Clever little boy there.
I don't know what's going on.
Clever little boy there.
I've lost all flow of this podcast. Where are we going?
I want
We've
to
only
see
just
that.
started talking about story. We're 50 minutes in.
I want to hear that audio clip assigned to so many different contexts. Clever little boy there. Anyway, I agree. I was thinking, right, if we didn't, DC and Marvel wasn't separate, and we could have worlds like they've done with Spider-Man, where, well, no, they haven't done that with Spider-Man. Anyway, by the by, you get what I mean. If we could have team ups with characters from different comic worlds, right? Batman and Daredevil movie. How fucking good would that be?
It'd be sick.
Them two hooking up would just be incredible.
In the grand scheme of the multiverse, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Well, it's not, but
Yeah.
well, it's not.
It's not.
Like James Gunn and Kevin Feige are going to be like, yeah, do you want to do a whole team up? Everything's going wrong with the superhero world. This is actually, in all fairness, if Superman and Fantastic Four flops, and like Doomsday flops, Secret Wars flops, there's nothing to say to James Gunn and Kevin Feige won't go, right, screw it, let's just do a Marvel and DC fucking team up movie, or against the like Civil War situation. There's nothing to say that won't happen. There's stranger things have literally happened. Speaking of which,
Guardians of the Galaxy and Justice League.
Yeah. Jon Favreau did play Foggy though. Do you remember this? Do you remember?
Yep.
You don't, do you? So Jon Favreau was Foggy in Ben Affleck's 2003 movie.
What was the movie?
Fucking hell, Jesus. I don't know if he directed the 2003 one, but he did actually apparently ask to be involved in this one, which didn't happen in this season. However, wouldn't it be cool if we got Happy Hogan? This is where I'm going. What if we got Happy Hogan in Born Again?
That would be great. That'd be awesome.
You don't give a shit. Look at
That
you.
would be insane. Could you imagine?
Oh,
Could you imagine
yeah.
how great that would
great.
be?
Yeah,
That's
like, I'm really gonna fucking give a shit. Yeah, sounds great.
Could you imagine how great that scene would be? Hi, I'm Happy. Hi, I'm Matt. Oh, great, cool. Got anything more to tell us, Happy?
Wait,
I worked for that dead guy.
We have had that. We have had that.
Have we?
Fucking Charlie Cox turned up in No Way Home to be the defense lawyer to Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and Happy Hogan was there. I completely forgot.
Wow.
I bet you do listen. They've been listening to that. Going, well, it fucking has happened, mate. Has happened. Yeah, idiot.
Yeah, right.
Check your history, bruh. Yeah, so it has happened. So maybe that's a warranted reaction because it already has happened.
I don't want anyone checking my history. Yeah. No, good. Cool.
What are you looking forward to next in this season? What do you think's going to happen?
I am looking forward to finding out the real Claire.
Yeah.
Now you've alluded that she's Russian. No, you haven't. No, I'm looking forward to finding the real Claire. I'm looking forward to more Wesley. Right, we haven't spoken about him, but Wesley's my favourite character. I think. No, he's not. That's a big fat lie. One of my favourite characters. I like Wesley because I feel like Wesley could be at some point. That feels like a character that ultimately we want to steal William's throne. I feel like at some point he's going to double cross William, and I'm looking forward to that potentially unfolding. So I'm looking forward to that. My cat is now banging at the door. So
God, that's quite scary.
Especially at nearly 10 o'clock at night. It's quite, when you got at the door, you're like, it's like fucking banging the shit out.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I also, can I just mention, one of my favourite scenes is the 360 camera in the car. Oh no, that's not happened yet. That's in episode 5.
But I think
will talk about that.
The fight sequences and the way that that's all shot and the way that
The corridor sequence.
one. Yes, the corridor one is
that was
sick.
insane.
When he goes and saves that boy, I think it's episode 2 or 3. It is, mate, it's so good. So good.
It was the corridor scene that made me think this needs to be a game, because I was like, wow, I'd have great fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just insane fight scenes. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it unfolding. I think, I'm just all in. I'm just excited. Crack on another episode, please. Can't wait.
It gets better as well. Like, it gets so much better as a series. It gets so much better as a story as well. See, I now coming back to it, I'm going, oh yeah, season 2 is fucking sick. Like, remembering Frank Castle's entrance into this, like, yeah. So much goes on, so much happens, so much more to tell as well. Jessica Jones gets into it as well. So I think I'd be interested to see how all of this ties into Born Again. I think that's just, at the end of the day, I'm going to probably be saying that a lot before we get to it in March. But, dear Forrest, we're just going to churn these episodes out as much as we can, aren't we? I know we're just very generalising these episodes here, dear listener, in terms of like reviewing them. You know by now we don't really do proper reviews. We're just here to chop the bits, right? Talk the talk and chat the shit, shoot the shoots, right? That's probably how we'll do it, you know. So going forward, we'll probably look at episode. I say probably, we will. We'll look at episode 5, probably to episode 9. I don't know, 9, 8, 9.
Oh, maybe, yeah,
something like that. And then this will probably season will probably last about 3 episodes, and we'll probably do that for the rest of the seasons going forward. But before we finish, because I think it's worth talking about as well, it's been a hell of a week for America. If you're listening to listener and you're listening from America, I mean, however you lean politically, it's got nothing to do with what our thoughts are. But I just hope everybody's okay. Just a bit of a mental week with TikTok banning, coming back. You've had an inauguration. Elon Musk did certain gestures that might be that as thing. There was one thing though that is very relevant to us as a podcast. Is then as a kind of hit back, those that were kind of claiming that he didn't do the salute, then on X, on Twitter, posted an image of Superman opposingly doing the salute as well. Now, can we all just admit that is a very normal stance for a superhero? That's how he flies. Do you know what I mean? But I think.
Is that what people are saying?
People are saying that. Oh, well, Superman's a Nazi. It's like, come on.
Yeah, that's you know. You know. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, and people we're going on politics here, but people are counting the fact that he's got autism and he's Asperger's and stuff, and that's got to do with his salute. Have you read all that? Have you seen all that?
No, I mean, as an autistic person, that is very insulting to say that. You know, I mean, I've never once
he knows
thought
what he's doing.
Yeah. I've never once been in a day or spoken to a group of people and thought, I'm just going to pump my heart, stick my arm in front of myself, and that'll be completely normal to do 3 times in a row. Twice.
Absolutely
3 times.
Wild. Absolutely wild. What a wild week it has been.
Good. Yeah.
But we'll keep going.
We send our love to all of you in America, wherever you are, across the globe. Yeah. Just remember, peeps, don't be a hero. Enjoy your life. And we'll see you next week for a fucking brilliant episode. We love you lots.
A belter. Love you. Like and subscribe and follow us and review us and all that kind of stuff. Ending clip now.
Yay!